In the Name of God. Transient Impressions. A Study in Ephemeral Beauty.
The artist's latest exhibition was a study in ephemeral beauty, featuring sculptures made of melting ice. Critics praised her audacious use of unconventional materials, though some dismissed it as ostentatious spectacle. One patron, known for his magnanimous support of the arts, argued that the work mitigated the harshness of modernity. Yet, the artist remained pragmatic, acknowledging her themes were intentionally ambiguous. By sunrise, the ice had dissolved, proof of life's evanescent nature. Some viewers, however, were eager to disparage her work, claiming it lacked depth. They failed to see that impermanence itself was the message. As the gallery filled with guests, murmurs of intrigue spread through the crowd, a testament to the artist's ability to disseminate her ideas. A journalist in attendance noted how the ice sculptures, though fleeting, left a lasting impact on the audience. The artist, known for her discretion, refused to explain the deeper meaning behind her work. She believed art should be left to interpretation, allowing each viewer a discrete experience. A wealthy collector approached, intrigued by the concept, though skeptical of its value. "What is the purpose of art that vanishes?" he asked, to which the artist only smiled. Meaning, she believed, was not always tangible. A rival artist, envious of the attention, attempted to dissemble his disdain, offering praise laced with subtle critique. "It's fascinating," he said, though his eyes betrayed his doubt. The host, sensing tension, skillfully redirected the conversation to broader artistic movements. She believed that true appreciation required a disinterested perspective, free from personal biases. The rival artist, however, could not mask his frustration, his compliments increasingly disjointed. He claimed that real art should endure, failing to grasp the significance of transience. The sculptor, unfazed, simply nodded and let the discussion pass like melting ice. That night, the city's cultural elite debated whether the exhibition was profound or pretentious. Some tried to dismiss the work as a fleeting trend, while others saw it as a necessary evolution in contemporary art. The artist listened but did not engage, recognizing the futility of convincing those unwilling to see. Among the crowd was a critic notorious for his disingenuous praise, known for favoring artists who flattered him. He spoke highly of the exhibit, but the artist sensed the hollowness in his words. Art, she believed, should challenge perception, not cater to ego. The true measure of success was in the genuine reactions of those who felt something. By morning, the gallery floor shimmered with water, the last remnants of the once grand sculptures. A janitor, indifferent to the night's discussions, mopped the floors without ceremony. The critics and collectors had gone, their debates momentarily significant but ultimately fleeting. The artist watched in silence, knowing that tomorrow, the space would be empty, awaiting another exhibition. This, too, was part of the cycle: creation, dissolution, and renewal. The essence of her work was not in what was lost, but in what lingered. And so, she began planning her next piece. Her next project would be even more transient, challenging perceptions of permanence further. Some would scoff, labeling it an exercise in futility. Others would find meaning in its impermanence, understanding that all things are momentary. The artist did not create for validation but for the experience itself. Art, to her, was not about ownership but engagement. The moment a piece was completed, it already belonged to time. She relished this paradox, embracing the inevitable loss. Despite the divisive reception of her work, she remained resolute in her vision. The detractors failed to see that art need not conform to expectations. Those who clung to tradition would always struggle with the unconventional. The artist believed that each creation should be a question rather than an answer. If art could provoke thought, it had already fulfilled its purpose. She had no interest in permanence, only in presence. This was what separated her from those who merely replicated the past. Another exhibition date was announced, sparking speculation about what she would unveil next. The media rushed to cover the story, eager to predict her next move. The critics, whether in admiration or skepticism, ensured her name remained in discussion. Yet, she paid little attention to their words, focused instead on her own evolution. In art, as in life, she sought to embrace the unknown. She welcomed both praise and criticism with equal detachment. After all, both were fleeting, just like the ice she sculpted. As the city buzzed with anticipation, she worked in solitude, carving new forms from blocks of ice. Each piece was a meditation on change, its shape dictated by time and temperature. Her hands moved with precision, yet she knew she controlled only so much. The final sculpture would be dictated by nature itself, melting at its own pace. This collaboration with time fascinated her, an artist and an unseen force creating together. No gallery could preserve such work, and that was precisely the point. It was art that existed only in the moment. By the time the doors opened for her next exhibition, guests entered with expectations of grandeur. But grandeur was not what she offered, only the subtle beauty of dissolution. Some struggled to understand, trying to assign value to something inherently fleeting. The artist watched their reactions, intrigued by the discomfort impermanence evoked. Those who understood, however, were moved in ways words could not capture. These were the viewers she created for, not those who sought possession, but those who embraced experience. And so, the ice began to melt once more. The city's art scene remained divided on whether her work was revolutionary or absurd. Yet, even her harshest critics could not ignore the discussions her exhibitions provoked. If art's purpose was to incite thought, then she had undoubtedly succeeded. The sculptures might vanish, but the conversations they inspired endured. In this way, her work outlived its physical form, persisting in the minds of those who had witnessed it. This, she felt, was the truest form of artistic legacy. Not in what remained, but in what was remembered. And as she watched the ice disappear for the final time, she smiled, knowing her work was complete.
Like and subscribe if you would like.